My name is Eric Rittenhouse, and I am a food blogger and cookbook author of Eric Dishes and Dustin Mixes. The original idea was to come up with something that my partner Dustin and I could share with friends and family. I graduated with a degree in graphic design from the Art Institute of York, and he had worked as a bartender, so we kind of married the two ideas of food and some of the libations that maybe are our favorite to come up with a cohesive cookbook rather than just a smattering of our favorite recipes, which it kind of is too in a way. On page 31, I have a great recipe for roasted root vegetables. What you'll need are 2 large baking potatoes, and play around with potatoes. Actually at market today, I found these great little fingerling potatoes, great substitution. You could add beets to this, you could add celery root, really just about anything that can really withstand high heat for a long period of time. It's fantastic. Let's finish up this potato here into chunks. And we want to keep everything the same size. That's going to help it all cook at the same time, so you don't end up with pieces that are raw and pieces that are completely burnt. There's 2 sweet potatoes, which I've already cubed into 1.5 inch chunks. And we'll also need onion. The onion, what I did was I wedged it, and then the wedges sort of fell apart into pieces. That's fine, it's all going to get tossed together at the end. And my favorite part of this really is the fennel. This is fantastic. When I first started using it, it was really hard to find. You could find one little bulb at the grocery store. Now it's just about everywhere. They can be a little pricey at the grocery store, so I went to my farmer's market and got it for $1.50 for the bulb. And I'm just going to remove the fronds from the bulb. And I'm going to hang on to these for later. We're going to use these. And to clean this, I'm going to cut off the bottom, which is where all the roots were. And it'll start to kind of unfurl, almost like an onion. This is really packed in tight like an onion, but it feels almost a little bit like celery. The taste is kind of anise or a little bit of a licorice taste. Don't be afraid of it though. When it bakes, it gets really sweet. It's fantastic. Okay, and the same thing with this. I'm going to keep this into about 1-inch pieces, just because I want it to all cook at the same time. Now everybody in. And the onion. The only other things really that you need are some olive oil, some really good olive oil. And you'll drizzle over. It'll probably be anywhere upwards of a 1/4 cup, a couple tablespoons. Some kosher salt. And don't be afraid of the salt. Root vegetables can really suck up a lot of salt, and it gives it a lot of flavor too. And a little bit of pepper. Toss everything together. And it can go into a roasting pan, a cookie sheet. I like to use a baking stone sometimes. And just spread it out. Alright, this is all going to go into a preheated oven at 425. And right before I put it in, I'm going to go back to those fronds that we reserved. And I'm going to cut up or chop a fair amount, because we're going to use this 2 ways. We're going to put some on top now, and we'll save a little bit for later. So we'll put this right into the oven. Now, instead of waiting 45 minutes, I have one completely finished right here. And I might finish it with another little drizzle of olive oil before it hits the table. And those extra fronds that we saved on the side, just to give it a little bit more color. And there it is. Roasted root vegetables, great for during the week, fantastic for holidays. I started ericdishes.com as a way to sort of tell the story of writing the book, kind of catalog or journal my way through the process. And it was a great way to get feedback too. To be able to blog and have a comment section where people can go on and say, I tried this or I did this with it, was a great way to stay connected with everybody, especially the friends and family who were there to support us through the whole process.